All right, let's jump right into one of the oldest, most mind-bending puzzles in all of philosophy. It starts with something really simple, a ship. But believe me, it ends with a huge question about what it even means to be, well, anything. Or, for that matter, anyone. This is the paradox of the Ship of Theseus.
So, our story kicks off way back in ancient Greece with the hero Theseus. You know, the guy who slayed the Minotaur. After that whole ordeal, he sailed away from Crete with the other Athenians on his ship. And this wasn't just any old boat. It became a legend, a monument to their incredible victory.
The people of Athens wanted to honor this famous voyage, so they kept the ship right there in their harbor for hundreds of years. And, as the historian Plutarch tells it, they took really good care of it. Whenever a wooden plank started to get old and rot, they'd just swap it out for a fresh, sturdy new one. Simple maintenance, right? Well, that one little act is what sparked a philosophical firestorm.
Yeah, that simple act of upkeep slowly builds into this deep, profound question that really gets to the heart of the whole paradox. Okay, so picture this happening over centuries. A plank gets replaced here, another one there. Then they replace the mast, then the sail. It's this super slow, gradual process. But eventually, you get to a point where not a single original piece of wood is left on that ship.
So here it is. This is the question that had ancient philosophers scratching their heads, and it's one we're still wrestling with today. Is this ship, now made of totally new materials but looking exactly the same, is it still the same Ship of Theseus? I mean, think about it. If you say no, then at what point did it stop being the original? Was it the first new plank, the last one, or somewhere in the middle?
But wait, just when you think you're getting a handle on the problem, a brilliant philosopher comes along and adds a twist that makes things way more complicated.
Let's fast forward to the 17th century. An English philosopher named Thomas Hobbes looked at this puzzle and basically thought, you know what, this isn't confusing enough. So he took the original idea and added one tiny but absolutely game-changing new detail. Hobbes said, imagine there's a custodian just hanging around the harbor. And every time the Athenians pull off one of the old original planks, this custodian doesn't just throw it away. Nope, they save it. They collect every single original piece until they have them all. Then they take that pile of old wood and build a second ship. So now we have a real problem. Which one is the real Ship of Theseus? Is it the one still floating in the harbor, the one with the continuous history and the original design, but made of all new parts? Or is it the one the custodian built, the one made of the actual physical wood that Theseus himself sailed on? Faced with this seemingly impossible choice, philosophers, of course, have come up with some pretty clever ways to try and untie this knot. Let's take a look at a few of the most interesting answers.
Okay, so one idea is called the temporal parts theory. It sounds complicated, but the idea is kind of cool. It says an object isn't just one thing, it's actually a whole series of versions of itself across time, almost like individual frames in a movie. So from this point of view, the repaired ship and the reassembled ship are just two different objects that shared a history for a while before going their separate ways. Problem solved, right? No paradox, just two different collections of time slices.
Then you've got a totally different take from cognitive science. This view says the problem isn't really about the ships at all, it's about our brains. We're hardwired to look for patterns and continuity. We create these mental shortcuts, these concepts like ship, to make sense of the world. The paradox just shows us what happens when that mental shortcut breaks down.
And then there's what you might call the everybody calm down approach. This is the deflationist view. It basically says there's no deep cosmic mystery here. We all agree on the facts. One ship has new parts, one has old parts. The only thing we're arguing about is a matter of language, how we want to use the name Ship of Theseus. It's just a debate over definitions.
And you know what's wild? This isn't just some abstract game for philosophers. This exact puzzle pops up all over the place in our culture, in some really serious and some pretty funny ways.
I mean, you just can't get a better example than this. This classic line from the British sitcom Only Fools and Horses is the Ship of Theseus paradox perfectly explained. The character Trigger is totally serious. He genuinely believes it's the same broom, even though he's replaced every single part of it multiple times.
And this idea is everywhere. You've got the story of grandfather's axe, which has had its handle and its head replaced. In France and Spain, they talk about Junot's knife. But maybe the most amazing real-world example is the Issei Grand Trine in Japan. For centuries, it's been completely taken apart and rebuilt with brand new wood every 20 years, and yet it's still considered the same ancient sacred shrine. The identity isn't in the material, it's in the form and the tradition.
Okay, now for the final turn. This is where we take this ancient thought experiment about a ship and point it straight at ourselves.
There's this ancient Buddhist story that's pretty chilling. A traveler is attacked by demons. One demon rips off a part of his body, and the other immediately slaps on the same body part from a corpse. This goes on and on until his entire body has been replaced, piece by piece, and he's left to just ask in pure horror, "Who am I?"
Now, that isn't just some spooky story. It's kind of what's happening to you right now. The cells in your body are constantly being replaced. Physically, you are not the same collection of atoms you were 7 or 8 years ago. And it goes deeper than that, right? Your beliefs change, your personality evolves, your memories, well, they fade, they get reshaped. The person you are today is not the same person you were a decade ago.
So we end up right back where we started. But the question is so much more personal now. If every part of you, both your body and your mind, is constantly changing, what is the you that stays the same over time? What's the thread that connects the little kid you used to be to the person listening to this right now and the person you're going to become? The Ship of Theseus was never just about a ship. It's about the puzzle of you.